welcome to another Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 episode. So, today we are going to be fixing the engine of this car, just to make sure that the engine is completely fine. So, and we will also be doing some of the suspension. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this car over to the lift array, and let's lift this up. Now, let's get this first. Let's get inside the engine. Now, let's take off the air filter. And so, essentially, we're going to be taking this whole engine apart and seeing if it runs any better, because we will be replacing almost all the engine parts, if not all. Let's take off the ignition wires, the fan. And this is a Mustang SVT. It's a order 1. So, I downloaded this because it looked like Chris Fix's Mustang. And we will be painting this Mustang red. We'll be replacing the body. Just the general fix the whole engine so it's completely perfect. I wonder, I got it from auction, so yeah, no oil in the car. The thing that I hate most about these engines is taking off these, so when I take these off I am going to do a time lapse of that. But right now we're not taking that off. Let's take those two clips off. The ignition distributor rotor. Serpentine belt. Water pump. And here's the alternator. Now let's take off the power steering pump. Take off the fuel filter, timing cover. Timing chain, cam gear. And there we go. Now I'm going to take off the brake servo. And the battery. And now I'm going to take off the rocker arms and the valve push rods. And we have taken off all of the valve things and stuff and rocker arms. I'm going to take off this exhaust manifold. Let's start taking off this engine head. Now you can see what type of shape the pistons are in there looking at them. Pistons are basically fine, but I'm replacing every part of this car. So now, let's lift this car up. Now let's work on the bottom of the car. Oh, well, that's convenient. Didn't have an oil pan on it. Wonder if that's because of a missing part or something like that. Take off that. Now let's take off another rod cap. Another one of these. And we've taken that off, so now let's take off this oil filter. Take out the starter. Exhaust pipe. And middle muffler. Drive shaft. Now let's take off this gearbox. Clutch pressure plate. Clutch plate. Flywheel. Now let's lower this. Let's get into here. It's a bit shiny. Another piston, another one. And now we're just gonna go into the car and take off the camshaft. And here's the camshaft off. The radiator, I'm gonna leave it. Now I'm gonna take off all the body parts. I've taken off all of the tires. Now I will be right back once I get all the parts for this vehicle. Okay, so we are back. We have bought everything for this vehicle. The first thing that I'm going to install is going to be the fuel tank. Now let's install the exhaust. Let's get the middle muffler, front exhaust. And that's pretty much all we can do right now for that. But I am going to install some tires on this vehicle. In the rear we are going to put some slicks. And same for this side of the rear. Oh wait, this isn't a slick tire? Slick. Okay, here we go. Now let's put this brake disc on. Brake pad. Caliper. Oil filter. Wheel. Same thing for over here. And now we can put the wheel on. Okay, that's good. Let's lower the car. Now let's assemble the body. Now everything will come out as in matte black by normal. But we will change the color of this car. Door, roof, the windshield, another window, another window, rear window, rear bumper, tail light, license plate, another tail light, another one of those, that. I think that's all. Now let's go into interior assemble. We're not putting any bench seats in this car. So now we're going to continue with the engine. Filter. Power steering pump. All of these. It's a V8, so obviously it has 8 pistons. The head on. Ignition coil. Gas manifold. Spark plug. And now I'm gonna put the servo on. Alternator. Camshaft. Engine head. I'll put this on. The distributor. Carburetor. Not the carburetor. And cam gear, timing chain, gonna put the clips on the car, air filter, timing cover, pulley, water pump, water pump pulley, serpentine belt, the second exhaust manifold, then the spark plugs, now let's put in the wires. The fan. And here we are. Our game just crashed there. But right now I'm going to install all of these, so I'll take the liberty of just putting all these in, and I will cut the video right now. Is the last rocker arm. Now let's put the covers on the engine. Okay. Put this one on here. I think that's all we can do on top right now. So I'm gonna lift the car up. And gonna assemble everything down here. And we've installed everything down there. Clutch plate. Clutch pressure plate. Clutch release bearing. Gearbox. Starter. And a drive shaft. And I think that was all that we need to do with this vehicle. But let me just make sure on here. Yeah, okay, so now let's move the car to the paint shop. Okay, let's move this to lifter A. Let's use it. And there we go, all the rest is gone. Let's see, we need to put this car there. And there we go. Oil is at halfway. Dipstick. Yep, oil's good. Start it. Okay, what did I forget to put in here? Had to have been something important because the car didn't start very fast. I wonder. Oh, because I didn't put the fuel pump in, obviously. Okay, that car does start pretty fast. Faster than it did. So this car is 282 horsepower. Let's go to the test track. Take this. And we are here at the racetrack. So yeah, slicks are in the rear. And this car is pretty good. Let's see how it handles. Terrible because I was going extremely fast. Not extremely, but fast, nonetheless. How does it handle corners? The suspension wasn't busted up, so I left it be. The only thing I replaced was the brakes. Car's pretty good. See, look, this car can actually go over bumps without failing miserably. See how good the brakes are. Brakes are pretty good. So I would say this car is pretty good on the track. And this one is definitely going into the garage. So hopefully you guys liked the video. And goodbye.